Leadership can feel lonely, especially when you're the one that everyone looks at. You're the one that does everything. You're the one that everyone goes to for answers, for direction, for strength. On this episode, we are talking about something every leader needs, but often overlook. This is the 30. Let's get started. Well, hello there, folks. Hello there, leaders. Hello there, entrepreneurs. Hello there, professionals. Hello there, fans. Hello there, family. Hello there, friends. This is the 30. I am your host, and I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you decide to join us on another episode of the 30, where we talk about leadership in 30 minutes or less. We just wrapped up our 5 week series of Leaders in Motion. Just as a quick review, we talked about growth, momentum. We talked about leadership being renewed. So we talked about a lot of things over the last 5 weeks. If you miss an episode, go back to our YouTube channel. That's the 30 with Patrick, or you can check it on LinkedIn or any other of our socials. But primarily, on YouTube, that's the 30 with Patrick. And tonight, what we are going to be talking about, we're going to be looking at something very special. We're going to take a step further from what our 5 week series, and we're going to pull back the blinds. And we'll be talking about something every leader needs, but a lot of the time, we as leaders, we overlook it. It's called the power of connection, why leaders can't grow alone. So we're going to pull things back. We're going to open up the window for you, and we're going to let you look in, and we'll have a discussion. Join us. Make sure that you join us. If you have any comments, surely drop them in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. There are unique times as leaders, things that we go through, pressures of the position, pressures of the job, pressures of the calling, decisions that we've made. It's the weight of the responsibility, which sometimes we kind of wish that someone was there for us to talk to. But in reality, leadership can be very lonely, especially, as I said, when everyone looks at us, when they look at us for direction, they look at us for answers. Sometimes they look at us as a source of strength. So leadership can create a sense of isolation if we are not surrounded by people. So that's what we are going to be talking about on today's episode. The power of connection, why leaders can't grow alone. So with that said, we look for relief. Sometimes we look for what we call the special sauce. We look for others to help us. We look for something that can help us relieve or get us away from the isolation, from the point of being alone. Think about it, folks. Every leader, whether it's an emerging leader, whether it's a new leader, or whether it's a tenured leader. Every leader desires to grow. Every leader desires to become more effective. We desire to be not just good, but we desire to be great leaders. We desire to be exceptional leaders. But growth doesn't happen in isolation. What growth does is, in terms of if we want to grow, if we desire to grow, connection becomes the soil from which growth takes place. It is where ideas form, it is where courage builds, and it's where accountability keeps us aligned. So tonight I want to talk about let's walk through three main truths that remind us why every leader needs community. So we'll talk about isolation and how isolation can limit innovation. We'll also talk about collaboration and how collaboration fuels our creativity and our courage. And lastly, we'll talk about community and the importance of community, the importance of having people around us as part of our community, which sustains our momentum. So those are the three things that we're going to be talking about on this episode of The 30. There's a saying, no leader grows alone. Simply means that every effective leader, in order for us to be effective, there has to be a collaboration or collaborative process which shapes us. And that collaborative process is supported by others, whether by ourselves. So I'll say that again. No leader grows alone. When leaders isolate, and we go through that in our leadership journey, sometimes we are by ourselves, sometimes we are with others, but leadership by itself is very challenging. And I talked about this last week. It can be, the higher you go in leadership, the more lonely it becomes, the more isolated you become. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can shake that off. You can move that apart, right? You can decide that you no longer want to live in a silo, that you want to have community, that you want to have collaboration. So when leaders isolate, what happens is that they're limited or limiting their input. They're limiting innovation. So isolation by itself limits innovation. Leaders with a growth mindset need people who can help them expand their thinking, dream bigger, think larger, and help us to see the things that we can't see. So people around us help us to really tune in and see the things that we may not see. Because if we're focused, we're blind, we have the blinders on, and others can help us really to understand and see those things that we may not see. So if we are to grow, if we're to expand our leadership capacity, if we're to expand our leadership effectiveness, connection is a must. Because what it does, it helps us to sharpen our ideas. It helps us to sharpen our thoughts. Ideas sharpen ideas. Iron sharpen iron. So what leadership does is that from a community or collaboration, we need to involve others. We need to be part of a group, part of a collaborative process versus being in isolation. So if we are leading in a silo, if you are leading in a silo as a leader, a new leader or tenured leader, it's time to break out. It's time to get out of our comfort zone. It's time to make the connection. It is time to decide to make the decision that we are going to be with others, that we are going to be connected with like-minded people, that we're going to invite conversation, that we're going to ask questions, that we're going to connect or reconnect with others who stretch us. See, we don't want to be the yes people. We don't want to surround ourselves with others that always tell us yes. We want to be surrounded with others that challenge us. We want to be surrounded with others that stretch us. And that's how growth happens. So isolation limits our innovation. Collaboration now, on the other hand, is where courage grows. Collaboration fuels our creativity and our courage. When we share the space with others, when we share the space with others that are driven, that are like-minded, that are purpose-centered, we find new ideas. We also find belief because we hear their testimonies, we hear their journey, we hear their struggles, we hear their successes. And that gives us fuel because, again, collaboration fuels courage and it fuels our creativity. Someone else's faith and someone else's energy or experience can spark the next breakthrough, can spark us to movement, can spark us to get up and move, can spark us to saying, hey, if they can do it, I certainly can do it. So it sparks our belief and it sparks our journey. The right circle, if we're in the right circle of people, it helps us to inspire our creativity. It strengthens our courage to act. And that's exactly what we need as leaders. Folks, that's exactly why events like the one that we're putting on, that we're hosting on Tuesday, which is our Leaders and Entrepreneur Connect, exists. Because we want to be around others. Proximity breeds power. I'll say that again. Proximity breeds power. Because when we are around like-minded people, when they're sharing ideas, when they're sharing their journey, that excites us. That gets us up and moving. So we want to be around others, right? We want to make sure that we are moving. So that's the reason why that events like Leaders, our own Leaders and Entrepreneur Connect, that's why these events exist. Because when we connect with others, when you connect with others, what it does, it creates momentum, not just for you, but for the others around us. Because we're like-minded, we are sharing ideas, we are sharing thoughts, we are sharing our journey, we're sharing the struggle, we're sharing the good things. And that's what we endeavor to do at our upcoming Leaders and Entrepreneur Connect. And others, there are other events out there that bring leaders and entrepreneurs and small business and professionals together. So whatever area that you're in, because you may be in business, you may be in non-for-profit, you may be in ministry, whatever you are in from a leadership standpoint, you may be a small business owner or entrepreneur. You may be the one that is taking the journey and others are looking at you. But when we come together, and we start to collaborate, then things happen. It's important to note that as a leader, as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as small business owners, wherever you are, whether it's non-profit, not-for-profit, professionals, when we set goals, it's important to know whether it's a goal to grow, it's a goal to go to the next level, it's a professional or spiritual or professional goal. right? When we set goals, it's key to understand that growth takes time. Success takes time. When we plant a seed in the ground, the fruit or the tree or whatever we have, it doesn't grow up right away. It doesn't provide what we're looking for right away. It takes time. So you have to recognize that growth takes time, success takes time. And the second part of this is that leadership isn't a solo sport. We need others around us. I know sometimes as leaders or as entrepreneurs or small business owners, uh, professionals that have the growth mindset, sometimes we get tired. Our faith and belief sometimes wanes. At times we become even unsure of where we're going. We become unsure of how we're going to get there. So these things happen. So we have to realize that where we're going is going to take time. But with the reliance on God, with the reliance on Him, and an assist from our community, we can surely get back up and keep going. Even if we fail. You know that I'm a big fan of Zig Ziglar, and one of the things that he says, right? Failure is an event. It's not the person. So in our journey, we need people. We need community. We need others around us to encourage us when things are tough. So whether you have, if it's you and someone else, it's you and your spouse, or you and your family members, you and your community, you and your church family, you and your business partners, whatever it is, we need each other. Because this sustains our momentum. In our journey, we need people. We don't need all yes people. That gets kind of boring for someone who says yes, 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 yes all the time. I know for some leaders, that drives them, right? For some leaders, that helps them. So I look at those leaders. I look at, and you've heard me say this over and over again, I look at leaders in two ways. Your weak and insecure leaders, and your strong and secure leader. So if you desire to have yes people around you, there's something going on within you. Something is not right. But we're going to focus on the strong and secure leader, or the person that desires to be the strong and secure leader. And they're working their way up, growth, right? They're working their way up. So we need people to challenge us. We need others to encourage us. We need others to remind us of our journey. We need them to remind us of our vision, of our plans, of our goals when things get tough. Sometimes we need what I call them cheerleaders. Someone that is or others that are biggest cheerleaders to say, get back up. You can do this. We know that you have this. Because it gets tough out there. Right? It gets tough out there. We have a saying in our household that it gets tough out there on the streets. The streets are talking. So it gets tough out there, but we need people. We need the community. We need others. So I encourage you. So if you are running hard alone, it might be time to realize the power of the power of prayer. And secondly, the power of community. Surrounding yourself with a strong inner circle, a community that can encourage you. Because it's not easy. But you can do it. Today I was talking to a couple of leaders and friends of of mine, and we are planning a collaborative project for some time in December, and you'll hear more about this down the road. But we were talking about it, and we all went in. This was a virtual meeting, and I went in thinking one thing, and I'm sure they went in thinking something else, right? And these are not yes people. These are strong individuals, strong leaders who have a journey, they both have a testimony. They're both successful, challenged, right? So we all have a journey. We all have highs and lows. But I went in thinking one way, and I'm sure they went in thinking another way. But what happened is that because we were open with each other, because we were honest with each other, because we provided honest feedback. So we knew, and we discussed, hey, what do we want to accomplish? What is the end game? What is our mission? What is our goal? So we talked about that. And then we talk about who's our target audience. Who do we want to be our target audience? What do we want to talk about? So I went in thinking one thing, and folks, I came out of it thinking completely different, but I came out stronger because of our collaboration, because of the community, because of our discussion, because we encourage each other. So now when this project comes to fruition, I'm telling you, it's going to be fantastic because of what we discuss, because of what we talked about. So at the end of the call, we thought that we were one way. At the end of the call, it turned around totally something different. All because we decided not to operate in isolation. That was the first thing. We decided not to operate in isolation. We decided to collaborate together, bring the three of us together and discuss it. Ideas sharpen ideas. We collaborated, folks. So we're going to be stronger. We value community, which has and would lead to our momentum because of our discussion, because of us sharpening each other. This will sustain our momentum. You see, connection just isn't about one idea. Connection is about multiple ideas. So when we focus on collaboration and connection, ideas multiply, but results are even greater. So as we end, so that's why I'm telling you, when you focus on these things, the power of connection, without a shadow of a doubt, and you make the decision to move away from the silo mentality, you will see tremendous growth. So as we wrap up this episode, the power of connection, why leaders can't grow alone. If you are in the Rochester area, I invite you to join us. Join us for our Leaders and Entrepreneur Connect. And that's happening on Tuesday, October 28th. That's Tuesday, October 28th. And that is from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. And I'm going to drop the link because you'll need to RSVP. We want to make sure that we have a count as to who's attending. And this is our first venture, but it's not going to be our last. It is a morning designed for leaders and entrepreneurs to connect, to collaborate, and grow together, to share ideas, to exchange ideas, exchange wisdom, build relationships, and create impact. So I invite you to join me on Tuesday, October 28th. And I'm going to put that link in the chat. I'll also put it up on a description. Actually, it should be there where you can make sure that you are part of our first Leaders and Entrepreneur. We're bringing together leaders, entrepreneurs, professionals of all kinds, of all industries, and it's going to be fantastic. So join me. Make sure that you register. You will find that in the description of this episode. So here's a takeaway as I end. Leaders can't grow alone. That is the takeaway. That is what we wanted to focus on today's episode of the 30. Your next level of growth is probably one connection away. One connection away. It's not so much in terms of who we know, but it's who knows us. So it could be one connection away, one conversation away, one collaboration away, one community moment that changes everything. So folks, don't isolate, connect, because connection creates courage and courage creates growth. Thank you for joining me on the 30. I look forward to having you join us on another episode of the 30. Remember, keep leading, keep growing, and keep making an impact. Those of you that are in Rochester, New York, I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, October 28th, 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. God bless you. May God keep you and your family safe. We will see you down the road.